Let's talk about it. 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 On the Vera Thomas Show. Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited. I know I say that every week, but I am. I'm excited about my guest tonight, Denise Thomas, and she's going to be talking about scholarships. Let me pull her up. Hello, Denise. How you doing? How
Hey,
are
Vera,
you?
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here. And let me share with our audience a little bit about you. Denise is a TEDx speaker, international best-selling author, a coach to parents of college-bound teens. Denise Thomas inspires, educates, and equips parents to take an active role in supporting their children to live a life of financial freedom. Using her cracking the code to free college strategy, her mission is the student debt statistics in the U.S. Denise is a 20-year homeschool veteran, having homeschooled her two children from pre K through high school. Her financial devastation, Denise created a way for her two homeschooled children to pay for college and gain acceptance as high school homeschooled students. 70,000 hours of research resulted in Denise's proprietary, repeatable strategy, and her teens attended their first choice college on 17, you hear me? 17 scholarships exceeding $199,000, walking out of college with cash in hand. College doesn't have to be a debt sentence, which is also the name of her book. How are you again? This is so exciting. So,
Well, thank you for that intro, Vera. I really appreciate it.
not a problem. I mean, worth it, worth it. And so, what I'm going to do is give you the floor and let you share with our audience your experiences. And let's start from childhood and move on up to you, where you are now and what your passions and your purposes and why it is your passion and your purpose.
Well, I started thinking about college for myself. You know, you grow up as a kid and you think about it. At some point, you'll go to college. When my family would talk about college, the typical conversation began with when you go to college, never if you go to college. It was an assumption. College was the next step, but no one talked about how you were going to pay for it. So as a teenager, I assumed my parents were paying for college. There were four of us. I was the oldest. But that conversation, that topic did come up between high school junior and senior year that summer. And when that topic came up, my mom said, "Oh no, we're not paying for you to go to college. That's all on you." Well, that really rocked my world because I had no idea. And in that moment, I had this flash of math that just said, hold on a minute. I've been working for 2 years and literally spending every dime. If I had saved that money, if I didn't go to Burger King and Taco Bell for lunch and dinner while I was working, you know, if I had only known, I might have had some money set aside. Well, you have to remember, teenagers live in their own little world. They really don't know family finances. They have no idea how much money the parents can or cannot or will or won't assist with the college education process. Come to find out, we were low income. Who knew? And I attended college on the Pell Grant. Well, here's a little thing that you need to understand. Being a low income student does not mean free college. There's a cap to that Pell Grant. It does not cover everything. Its intent is to cover tuition at a local regional college, not to cover everything at whatever dream school you have in mind, or even your state flagship. Trust me, that's more expensive than a regional school. So I ended up working 3 jobs during college to put myself through school. Fast forward so many years, I'm married. We now have 2 children. Right about the time my daughter was getting ready to start high school, my husband was laid off from his job that he had had for 15 years. A few months later, well, he had gotten a job almost immediately, but a few months later was laid off again. And then the stock market crashed.
Oh.
And what I realized is that, of course, decades later, when I'm thinking about it, is that we were not paying attention to our own industry that my husband was in, to what was really happening in the world, even because we do tend to focus in our own bubble. And because we were not prepared financially for that, our stocks, our 401k plummeted. We had very little savings left, but I continued paying the bills because that's what we do. If you have money, you pay your bills. Doesn't take long before the money runs out when you're paying a mortgage. And I told my husband we have no choice. We have to declare bankruptcy. We had just enough left to hire a bankruptcy attorney. No, they're not free.
No.
And buy a lawnmower and trailer and start mowing lawns to put food on the table. The bankruptcy was liquidation, which meant if you could touch it, it was sold. Everything, books, toys, Christmas decorations, pots and pans. Having strangers at a garage sale, no big deal. We've all done garage sales. You've either had them yourself or you've gone to one. But having strangers come into your home, making an offer on the pot I was cooking my dinner in. I had to ladle the food out of the pot into a container and clean my $200 Magnolite pot that I had received as a wedding gift and sell it for $5. But the worst part was that because the house was going into foreclosure and we had to move into a small apartment, that meant our 2 dogs had to go as well. That was the hardest thing that I did. I still remember my children running into the house crying as our dogs were being driven away by their new owner. A few months later, I was sitting in this new apartment and it suddenly hit me that my daughter was about to start high school. That means college is around the corner. We have no savings. We didn't save for college at all. We have no 401k to borrow against. We have no house to borrow equity from. The house went into foreclosure. And that bankruptcy means we can't co-sign for student loans that everybody likes to talk about. You see, your kids can only get this much in student loans by themselves. The rest requires a co-signer. That co-signer is you. It's parents and grandparents. What are we going to do? I felt this knot in my stomach because I did not want my kids to have to go through what I did to get their college degree. It was a struggle to work 3 jobs and have the Pell Grant and still barely have enough ends to meet at the end. I prayed that my tuition check wouldn't bounce. Well, I started researching. That was that moment, that pivotal moment that said there's got to be a way. And what I found is that we tend to believe things today that maybe some of them were true many decades ago, but they are certainly not true today. For example, we tend to believe college athletes, they have scholarships. No, they don't. No, they don't. Number one, an extremely small amount of high school athletes go on to play college ball, and then an extremely small number of them actually get an athletic scholarship. Most of the time, it doesn't cover much. See, the rules have changed. We also tend to believe only geniuses win scholarships. The kids with the top GPA, the top test scores. I'm going to go with yes and no with that, because there are plenty of perfect stats kids that get rejected from colleges every single day. Is our grades and test scores important? Absolutely. Is it enough? No, it's not. We want to talk about that a little bit later as well. But I realized there has to be a way for my kids to go to school. How are we going to pay for this? So, yes, there are going to be some kids whose parents can afford it. They're uber wealthy, or they scrimped and saved over the course of decades, and they've got the cash to pay for college. Cool. And there is a small segment of kids that are, I'm going to go with the other financial end of the spectrum, destitute. And some of those get to go to college for free. But then there's everybody else in the middle. It's we call ourselves, we're in the middle. We don't qualify for, financial aid. And again, people believe financial aid covers everything, and no, it doesn't. Witness me, it happened here too. And then we believe, well, there's a lot of really wealthy people that, or the kids are brilliant and they get all the scholarships. So what I found, though, is that there are kids in the middle that are able to cover college without their parents co-signing for the debt. So what are they doing? Turns out there's definitely a few things that made sense. And because my kids were just starting high school, we could start this early. And that was one of the keys that I found, is that starting early is extremely important. Are you out of luck if your kid's a senior or even already in college? No, there's still money available. But the earlier you start, the more opportunities there are and the less stress there is in getting it. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I learned through the process.
Your story is amazing. I would have you never know what people have gone through. You never know. And to think that you went through all of that and look at where you are now. Look at this. But oh my God, that fortitude, that perseverance, that resilience.
No, desperation, Vera. It was desperation. And I admit that, now today I'm grateful for the bankruptcy. I'm grateful for all the hardships, because I would not have had that fortitude to do the research. I would not have been up until 2:00 in the morning doing the research every single night to figure out how my kids were going to go to school.
Wow. And just think, now you can impart all that information to others. That
Yep.
is, oh my God. And so let's look at some of the things that a parent needs to do. And you said, even if a child is in high school, it's not too late, but it's best to try to start as early as possible. So what are some things that a parent of a middle school child can begin to start doing while preparing for their future?
Absolutely. Well, let's say you have a middle school age child, and maybe you even have a range of kids. That's awesome. In middle school, that is the ideal time to instill some basic study skills that are involved. You know, if they end up in high school and they already have those study skills set, oh, you're going to be golden. But what's more important than that in middle school is to give your children opportunities. And by that, I mean opportunities for activities, to finding the thing that they love to do. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with a college major. It just means something that really lights them up, a passion, a focus of some kind. So, and it doesn't have to cost money. Trust me, there were plenty of summer activities that my kids did that didn't cost anything, that were free.
Now, you said in middle school, and we just had this conversation. So there may be things and passions that your child exhibits before middle school that
True.
that you need to begin to nurture and build, because that could be the very thing that they go to college for. Or it could be the very thing that allows them to get scholarships.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
so not just middle school, but at every age. I mean, you have a great, I'm going to bring this up. You have a granddaughter
I do.
who who's 2 years old. She will be 3 years old soon. But you're already seeing some gifts
Yeah.
and talents that she has. Talk about that for a minute.
Sure. Well, think about this, and if you have a child that is older, the middle school, high school, you likely have forgotten some of these things. So start thinking about it, go through some old photographs and let those memories spark some memories. When my granddaughter was about 18 months old, my daughter had me on FaceTime on the phone. And we're in her garage and she's just talking with me about something. And I noticed in the back of the photo, in the image behind her, is my granddaughter climbing the attic stairs that had been pulled down. And I'm like, the baby behind you. Because, grandma's freaking out over here.
Right.
So she turns around and says, oh, yeah, she does that. I'm thinking, okay. And think about this child who's barely 18 months old, climbing up the stairs. And she, mama tells her, okay, that's enough, come back down. And she manages, without looking, to feel where her feet are and back down these stairs without assistance. Gets all the way down. And today, like I said, she's 2, almost 3. She climbs everything. But what's interesting to watch is her sense of balance in everything. And I was talking with my daughter and son-in-law, and my daughter said, yeah, we decided that regardless of what she wants to do in life, we will support her. And which is, of course, the right thing to do. She sings extremely well on pitch every time. If she starts off pitch, she will find the pitch on her own. And she's very dramatic. She's watching these, Disney movies or videos, and she's mimicking the characters as she is singing. Sometimes she's got it so memorized, she doesn't have to be watching it to sing along. She'll just flat out start singing and dramatically partake in whatever the scene was. And we thought about that. I was trying to figure out, okay, there's the job here somewhere. What is it? Where's the opera and the dancing and the gymnastics? Oh, Cirque du Soleil. That's what she needs to do. There you go.
Oh my goodness. And but you guys are you're understanding and seeing all these talents, all these gifts. And parents, oftentimes these things are exhibited before a child is 3 or 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And so that's the time that you embrace it and you nurture it. And so by the time they get into middle school, they've got some stuff under their belt. And on top of that, it could be the very thing that allows them to get scholarships for their future.
Or
But
college acceptance, I mean, there's so many opportunities, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And that's why this show is important for parents who have kids of all ages. All ages. Start tapping
Absolutely.
into it. And you mentioned some other things that a middle schooler could do to get them prepared for these
Right.
scholarships,
Right.
community service, and some other things. Talk about some of
Yeah.
those things.
So think about it. First, you have to understand what colleges are looking for. Yes, they're looking for, are you going to pass and graduate? That's the kids' GPA and test scores. Forget about what you're hearing. Test scores are still important. It's whatever you're hearing is just no, don't pay attention to that. Test scores are important. So GPA and test scores, that tells them your kid is going to pass and graduate. Number two, they're looking for, will your child or how will your child participate in the community of the college? How will they, how do they fit into the campus community? Your kids' extracurricular activities are an important part of that. Why? Well, if you think about it, they only need one valedictorian. They only need one student body government president. If they have 1,500 seats to fill for their freshman class, they don't need 1,000 student body government presidents. They need one. So if they grab 20 out of that 1,500, they're pretty safe to say one of them is going to want to be student body government president. They have 300 or more clubs to fill. They need to fill a majority of them. So all things being equal, let's say all of the kids that they're bringing in have decent GPA. They're going to pass and graduate. Now let's fill our freshman class. If they have already filled, I don't know, 100 kids that play chess, they probably don't need 20 more. So if your child gets a rejection letter, sorry, not a good fit this year, it's not a reflection on your child. Do not take this personally. It's just that they're filling their freshman class. Prior to your kid's application getting in front of them, they already had 100 kids that played chess. Okay? So they're definitely looking for how your child fits into the campus community. Third, and probably most important, what kind of an alumni will you be? Some of that is a gut feel. Some of it is experience. I'll give you an example of that experience. Two students that look identical on paper. Maybe they went to the same high school, took the same classes, got the same grades. The kid with the most community service hours wins hands down every time. Why? Because you've just told them that this child is likely to participate in the campus community, is likely to even continue volunteering in some ways, either for the campus or outside of campus, but will likely participate in their community as an adult, which reflects well on the alma mater. They're looking for the next Elon Musk, the next president of the United States or senator, right? So training your children to find the thing that lights them up, to find community service that they really enjoy and will continue doing throughout high school because it's a passion of theirs. There's a reason for it. For example, people are always asking, what does that even mean? There's a lot of stuff around your community that needs and would love to have your child participate. For example, let's say grandma has dementia or grandpa is in an elderly convalescent facility. but maybe doesn't live near you. Maybe they live in another town. Your child can go to the local retirement home on a weekend, play chess with the elderly people every weekend, or one weekend a month. Again, it's they don't really care about the one thing you did one time. They care about what lights you up and your story behind it, your why. Why is really important. Be able to answer that question. Why am I doing this? So now we have, in this example, we've got a kid that plays chess, probably is part of his chess club at school. Maybe he's president, maybe he's founder of his chess club. And he goes to the local retirement home to volunteer his time to play chess with the elderly. How much you want to bet something in one of his essays is going to have to do with chess? You have it listed at least 3 times on that application. You've just told them that that is your passion, that that is your focus. It's something that lights you up.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Parents, again, help your children find what lights them up.
Yeah.
Find what lights them up. And if you see them sparkle when they're doing certain things, then you might want to encourage them. Let's
Yes.
find a way. Let's find a way for you to volunteer and do this and help
Yeah.
somebody
What
else.
else can we do? I'll give you a couple of examples, and it doesn't have to be just one thing. 1 or 2 things that you can get real good time in, maybe time learning that thing, time volunteering with that thing, whatever. A couple of things is fine. And then there's gonna be these extra little pieces that are on the side. For example, you might participate in martial arts. Maybe your kid did that since the age of 3. Awesome. By now, by high school or sometime in high school, they got their black belt, maybe their 2nd degree black belt, maybe they're teaching, volunteering teaching in the classes, et cetera, et cetera. But what else? Do they love something else? For example, my son loves to cook.
You know what? I was just thinking cooking.
Yeah. I mean, hey, why not? If you love to eat, you
Yes.
should love to cook.
Yes.
But he took some cooking classes as a child. And anytime he came home with a new recipe, maybe there was a sample, maybe they ate it in class, who knows? But he would come home with a new recipe, and I would ask, if you were going to make this recipe again, how would you change it? What would you do to change it? Does it need more salt, more sugar? Think about that. And we would make notes when he would come home on the recipe. What that taught him was a couple of things. It taught him that you don't have to do things and play by the book all the time. You can make changes that suit you to what's important to you. It also taught him to think about, some critical thinking skills. Think about what's working, what's not working. But going forward, again, he was a child when he started this, and you encourage this as a parent. I let him cook when he wanted to. As a matter of fact, when he went off to college, I suddenly realized he had been making my lunch every day.
And you
like,
missed it.
I missed that. It was crazy,
Oh my.
But there's opportunities. What else can they do in that thing that they love? Turns out 4-H had cooking competitions. He won.
Wow.
So again, it doesn't have to be just one thing, and you can think outside the box. Neither of those things are necessarily a college major. Could have gone into culinary, thought about it. Martial arts is not. So it doesn't have to be something that is related to a specific college major. It could be something that might end up being a club at college.
That your child started. You never know.
Entirely possible. That's right.
You never know. Well, listen, I've got to do a commercial and then we will come back and continue this conversation. We're going to pull up your book so that we can talk about that. So let me play this right quick.
Mama Knows creates high quality products that are available to be used on multiple textures of hair. Her goal is to bridge the gap to stop people from having to use multiple products because of families with multiple hair types. Her products are currently being used on men, women, children of all ethnicities. Mama Knows products are available at www.mamaknowsproducts.com. That's www.mamaknowsproducts.com. You can also find her on Instagram at Mama Knows Products because, you know, Mama knows what you need.
Mama knows what you need. Let me tell you about these products. They are awesome. They smell great and they do a wonderful job. There's shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, and also hair serums to help your hair grow and to make your hair more healthy. So check out Mama Knows Products.com. Why? Because Mama knows what you need. So check it out. Check it out. All right, now back to your book. Let me pull it up and let's talk about what's in your book. How to go to college debt free. Let's talk about that. I love your book
Awesome.
cover with all
Awesome.
that money.
And there
Okay.
was plenty of it. There was certainly plenty of money. So this particular book is strictly how to find scholarships from kindergarten all the way through college. Yes, I did say kindergarten. There are a couple of scholarships for 5-year-olds, believe it or not. And they are
What?
for college. I know. Someone asked, well, is scholarship for kindergarten, is that for going to a private school or something? I said, no, this is for college. All of these are college scholarships. What it is not a list of scholarships. I do not believe in a list of scholarships because the scholarships that your children have the best chance of winning are the ones that are personal to your children. That is how our kids won these scholarships. You don't apply to a bunch of random lists of scholarships. You apply to the ones you have the best chance of winning, and oh yes, you can win. Go figure. So this is the strategy. It is literally step by step what to put on a piece of paper, what to look for online, how to find it, how to scroll through it and hit the criteria to see if you qualify. I like to approach it as a game. There are 1.8 million scholarships out there. As I said, there's only one for kindergarten. There are just about a couple handfuls for under age 13. High school freshman through junior, few hundred. I'm going to skip seniors at the moment, high school seniors. College students, several 100,000 scholarships available. A little past going to grad school and professional school, few hundred or so available. Now, high school seniors, that's the buku, that's the mountain right there. That's the 1.7 out of the 1.8 million scholarships that are given away every year.
Oh my God.
If you've got a high school senior, you should be applying, your kid should be applying for scholarships like it's a job. You'll never run out of opportunities.
Let me ask you, can you give me some examples of scholarships for kindergartners? Can you give me some examples?
Yes, I can give you the one for kindergarten. If you've got a kindergarten kid, actually this scholarship is now available. It used to be just K through 8. They have extended it through high school now. This is the Doodle for Google scholarship. So do a Google search it. Doodle for Google scholarship. Now, when you open up Google Chrome, you will likely see, before you even do anything, you'll likely see some kind of drawing, pictures around the Google logo.
Yes.
That's the scholarship.
What?
All you have to do is print it out, let your kids draw or color around it, and send it in.
Now, this scholarship, how does it work?
So here's the thing. With a lot of scholarships, it's going to be one of two things. Either a scholarship organization is going to hold the scholarship for your child until they go to college, and then you just tell them the name of the college, your kid's ID, and they'll send the money. The majority of ones that are coming in early like this, honey, they're going to write your kid a check. And then you open up a
Scholarship
it's
fund.
called, you open up a checking account or a savings account, and it's called a custodial account. Basically, a mama or a daddy needs to be on the account with the child's name. The account is in the child's name, but it needs an adult to sign on it. So that's starting your kid's college fund. Now, did I know we could start that early? No.
No.
My daughter didn't start applying for scholarships until she was a high school junior. And the very first scholarship she applied for was a national scholarship for $10,000. And she won. And that company literally flew the entire family to another state for their conference so that they could hand my daughter the big check at the conference. So this book is teaching you the exact step-by-step strategy that I use and that I teach my families as well. It's only about 1/10 of the Cracking the Code to Free College strategy, but it will at least help you to find the scholarships that your child has the best chance of winning.
That is amazing. Now listen, I have put in the comments the link to this book. You want to get this book. I want to get this book for my grandkids. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. Can you give me another example of
Well,
a
well, let's talk again about I want to make sure I clarify the one about Doodle for Google.
okay.
Your kindergartner is not competing with an 8th grader or a 12th grader. Okay. They
They're in
do have it.
categories.
They do have it segmented for grade levels. So you're not competing with kids who, have a better hand-eye coordination, whatever. I can't even tell you how many of those scholarships they give every year. I have tried to find out, and I am a darn good researcher and cannot find out how many they give. It's now international. They actually have an international category. It's not just US now. So let's see about some other possibilities. We all hear, once you get into the junior, senior year of high school, you're going to hear people tell you either don't bother applying, nobody wins. That's a lie. I can tell you a lot of people who win. I know them. They'll tell you things like don't apply to national scholarships. Nobody wins those. Again, not true. I feel like it's more of a misery loves company. If your kid didn't win, well, then nobody's kid wins.
Mhm.
And you will find a large number of people who apply to scholarships and say, oh, it's a scam. Nobody wins those. Waste of time. Just go get a job. But here's the thing. Even doing everything 100% right, it is still a numbers game. You still have to put a lot of them out there. It's just like it is like finding a job. You don't want to put out one application and hope you get the job. You want to put out as many as you can, done correctly, and then hope you get the job, right? And maybe get several, if not a lot, of interviews. The same is true when it comes to applying for scholarships. If you have younger kids, start this process early and slowly. Get your kid into the habit of, oh, there's 2 scholarships this year you can apply for. You're, I don't know, 3rd grade, let's say, whatever. Well, let's give it a shot. But here's the thing. For parent and child needs to know this. When you hit the submit button on that scholarship application, out of sight, out of mind. Nobody's going to come calling you telling you your kid lost. Okay? In the book, I have a copy of a spreadsheet that I use, and you can connect with me afterwards to get a copy of it. You don't have to create it yourself. That you can list your scholarship that your child is applying for. The date, deadlines, what you had to submit, blah, blah, blah.
Keep a
So
record.
say that a scholarship deadline is May 1st. Well, if May 15th comes along and your kid didn't get a phone call or an email, guess what? They didn't win. So you check the box that says lost and you move on. Okay. I had no idea how much money my kids were winning because you hit the submit button and you move on. Where's the next one? Where's the next one? Where's the next one? It becomes a treasure hunt when you're looking for these scholarships, especially in senior year. That's literally an Easter egg hunt. It's a blast, and you will get sucked into it because there's so many. I highly suggest, and it's in the book, I highly suggest that you set a timer, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you have available, because otherwise dinner's not going to get cooked, laundry's not going to get folded, and you're not getting any sleep. So because it is so much fun, you will find a ton of them. I had no idea how much money my kids were winning. I did not know until my son, the youngest, high school graduation. That's when both of my kids got up and announced to the crowd how much money they had won combined.
And how much was it?
I was just as floored as everyone was. More than $199,000.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Between the two of them.
Between the two. Yeah.
Oh my God. So not only was their college covered, but they had money to live off of during college.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. It covered, you cover your college expenses, and with cash left over, my daughter graduated right before graduation. She had $2,000 left over. And then right before graduation, she was told by her department of whatever, her graduating department, that they were giving her a $2,000 check, another check. So she graduated with $4,000 left over.
Wow.
She was getting married a few months later, and she put it toward her wedding.
Wow. That is amazing.
And my son graduated with $10,000 left over.
What?
Now, as the mama, I was thinking he was going to be able to outfit his new apartment and not live like a broke college student for the rest of his life.
Right.
However, God had other plans. Within months of moving into his new apartment for his first job, his first postgraduate job, his car broke down, needed a new transmission.
Wow.
Now, you fellas out there know how much that cost. So that took a large chunk out of that 10 grand. Then his computer broke. That was a $1,000 repair. Then he wrecked a rental car. That was a $1,000 deductible on his insurance. And again, this is all within a 2-month period.
What?
Then his electricity in his apartment went out for almost a week, and he had to replace all of the food in his fridge and freezer. That was another $500. Going forward, his car was still having problems. So every month there was more, every couple of weeks, every month, there was more repairs that needed to be done. And I remember my husband asking once, he said, "Can you still see our son's account?" I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, I just want to make sure he's doing okay because he hasn't asked us for any money. And I'm just afraid he's struggling. I said, and I looked it up and I said, he's doing fine. Doing just fine, you know.
Wait a minute.
I got it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's something we don't realize that, I've learned being an adult and having lived some time in this life, that when God gives you money, whether it's a bonus check, whether you saved money, whether you got all these scholarships, do not go spending it all because God may have other plans for that money.
Amen.
And vicariously, my kids have learned that as well. So
Wow.
it's just really, it really is it feels good to the mom and dad to not have to worry about your kids, you know. And when our kids went off to college without us having to pay for it, we bought a 42-foot motorhome and went full-time RVing for 5 years while my last was in college.
Oh my goodness.
So when you're not paying for your kids to go to school,
You can
It's-
work and do some things for
it's
yourself.
your money. You can have fun yourself. That's exactly right.
Oh man, I got to do another commercial. But this is, for me, this is really exciting. We'll be right back.
For real, take your business, any business, to the next level by joining us at the Global Awaken Trinity Summit. 4 days of opportunities and inside info you don't want to miss, as over 35 celebrity speakers will be live in person to teach you exactly how to make your business take off, grow, and thrive. From marketing tool secrets to the best ways to build relationships, partnerships, and make true connections. Founder Kessa Gooden is putting on this once-in-a-lifetime event, the Global Awaken Trinity Summit VIP Gala and Yacht Mastermind, February 29th through March 3rd, 2024 in Miami, Florida. Registration starts at 9 sharp each day. Bring your business partner, your team, your friends, anyone and everyone who wants real success. For tickets, call 404-992-3971. Tickets will not last, so call now. 404-992-3971. Or visit us online at globalawakenedevents.com, and we will see you there. As a business pro, you know the way to make real money is to have a big, qualified audience listen carefully to your every word. Step up and speak at the Global Awaken Trinity Summit, and that's exactly what you'll have. It's a 4-day event aimed exclusively at those who want to make their business, any business, take off, grow, and thrive. The best will be teaching and inspiring, and you should be one of them. From marketing tool secrets to the best ways to build relationships and make connections. Founder Kessa Gooden is putting on this once-in-a-lifetime event, the Global Awaken Trinity Summit VIP Gala and Yacht Mastermind. Registration starts at 9 sharp each day, February 29th through March 3rd, 2024 in Miami, Florida. To speak or for tickets, call 404-992-3971. Spaces are filling up, so call now. 404-992-3971. Or visit us online at globalawakenedevents.com, and we will see you there.
Speakers, this is the place you want to be. The Global Awakening Trinity Conference in Miami. And it has a yacht party as a part of the event. So I put the link in the chat. Click on that link and register to be a speaker or to attend. Or you can call Cassie at 404-992-3971 and tell her you heard it on the Vera Thomas Show. You do not want to miss this event. If you are a speaker, an entrepreneur, or if you just want to gather more information and gain more wisdom and education, you want to attend. But I'm encouraging you to consider being a speaker. Yes. All right. Global Awakening Trinity Events. All right. All right. Now, back to this exciting conversation. All right. So we talked about, and you guys, I'm going to pull the book back up because you want to get this book. If you are a grandparent, if you are a parent, and you have children from kindergarten all the way up through high school, and you have a desire for them to go to college, or they have a desire to go to college, you want to get this book. You want to get this book. I put it in the chat, but let me put it on the screen again, because you want to get this book. I want to get the book. How to go to college debt-free. How to find scholarships K through college. And we just mentioned some of those scholarships. Google, doodle for Google. Your
Exactly.
kindergartner can do this and possibly start their college fund with that scholarship. All right, can you share? Can you share? I know we can't give out all the secrets in the book, but can you kind of talk about a couple more?
Well, as I mentioned, a random list of scholarships is not the place to start. A lot of people, oh, Denise, do you have a list? I do, but I don't really want you to have a list of scholarships because with 1.8 million scholarships available, I could pull out 20, I could pull out 100, but it may not be the scholarships your child is eligible to apply for, right? I mean, we might be talking about a scholarship for, as I mentioned, martial arts, and maybe your daughter's a dancer, she doesn't do martial arts or whatever. So you want to apply to the things that your child can speak on, can write an essay on. For example, there is a scholarship that asks the question, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? Tell me about your favorite ice cream flavor.
And why?
Always why. So if your child is lactose intolerant, maybe they've never been able to have ice cream, it's likely that they could write about it, but they have never had it maybe. And how's that going to work? So with so many other opportunities available, pick the ones that they can actually write on. Now, you're going to see this particular one come up a number of times. There are a lot of scholarships from, let's say, law firms, and you'll see something maybe asking you to write a public service announcement, telling people to, why it's important to wear a helmet riding a bicycle. Okay. If your kid has never rode a bike, doesn't like riding bikes, again, it might be tough. But if they love riding their bike and they always wear a helmet, maybe they have an opinion on this. So I've always said it should not take more than an hour to fill out any application. That includes the essay. If it takes more than that, if your kid is struggling, it's a blank piece of paper and they have no clue what to write, toss in the trash, try another one. There's just too many out there. Another example here, and this is an example of why kids don't win. Nationally, Vera, only 1 in 8 college students wins a scholarship or has a scholarship. 1 in 8. That's 12.5% out of all college kids. 97% of that 12%, wins $2,500 or less as their total in the scholarships they have won. Only 0.3% has enough scholarships to cover their cost of attendance. Those are the national statistics.
So let me ask you this. If all those scholarships are available, why are the percentages so low for getting them?
Well, if you think about this, it's twofold, two things. So first of all, there are literally scholarships that go unawarded. Either nobody applied or the applicants they did get were not worth giving the money to. Just saying. Here's the thing. A lot of kids are writing scholarship essays, but they're not winning. And the reason they're not winning is because they're writing the wrong essay. Here's another essay topic you will see often. Tell me about someone who inspires you. It can be Jesus, it can be grandma, nobody cares. Pick one, pick whoever. Tell me about someone who inspires you. And the student will write all about Jesus and all about grandma. Wrong essay. The operative word in the question is, tell me about someone who inspires you. How does that person inspire you? Oh, well, my grandma, we have Sunday dinner at grandma's house every weekend, and she always serves her Italian spaghetti and meatballs, and it came from the old country, and family comes over, and Uncle Pete talks about grandma always said if you don't finish your plate, she's going to feed into the cat. I never had any animosity toward that cat. Give it to the cat. And grandma's hospitality and her cooking have inspired me to own my own restaurant, to be a chef, or what have you. Or maybe it's inspiring you, it has inspired you to go to the local food bank and ladle out spaghetti and meatballs to the homeless once a year, twice a year, every weekend, whatever. The operative word is you. They're writing the wrong essay.
Okay, so
Kids are
that's
not
where,
winning.
and so that's where you come in. Because if you get her book and then talk with her, let her coach you on how your child can win some of these scholarships that are out there that nobody's winning. And they're not winning them because they're not answering the questions correctly. Denise can help you do that. She can help you do that. And I can't believe we only have 2 minutes left, and I still have another commercial that I need to play. I really need to play this because it's my commercial, and I need people to want to let me play this right quick, and we'll be right back. To accomplish a task. There's no need to ask. My greatness. When I allow creativity to flow. Everyone will know. That's my greatness. When I share. Give of myself. That's my greatness. What greatness. Need not compare. Anywhere. There's no need to compete. With others I chance to meet. My greatness is unique. It makes my life complete. I just need to be myself. And do my best. And do my best. Always do my best. And greatness. My greatness. Greatness. My greatness. Will stand the test. All right. Can you imagine your child waking up during Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, their birthday, and receiving this poem, That's My Greatness, with their picture and their dreams and goals depicted? Can you imagine your child with increased confidence, increased self esteem, and the courage to stand up against the bully? Can you imagine your child feeling so grateful that you gave them such a wonderful, unique, personalized gift? Just imagine. I'm telling you, you want to get one of these for your child, okay? Or a significant person in your life that you want to help build their confidence and encourage them. Let me do this for you. It's an awesome gift. So go to bit.ly/creation questionnaire and complete the questionnaire and let me do this for you. Yes. All right. Well, Denise, we have gone over, but I needed to play that because I want people to know that this is a great, great gift.
And I'm glad you did. It is awesome. It is awesome. Kids need that confidence, and knowing that they have another adult in their corner is really important.
Well, thank you very much. And I am going to give you the last word, and you can share your final thoughts. And then I'm going to end the show with your last words. So I just want to say to my audience, thank you for listening. And you will catch the replay, and it will also be on several podcast platforms. So thank you again for coming. I just love your spirit. I love what you're doing. I love you as a friend. I just thank you for being my friend. So
Well,
thank you
thank you
so
so
much.
much. Thank you
And
so much, Vera.
yes, and so
Yeah.
you're
So
going to
yeah,
finalize and
here's
then
the
don't
thing.
leave.
This is the final thing. The most important thing you can take away from this is to start early. It is extraordinarily important. I don't care if your kids are in, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth or 10th grade. Please don't wait until junior, senior year. I know that society tells us to wait. Your high school counselors tell you to wait, but that's a recipe for college debt. And that's why 70% have college debt. Do not wait to start the process, the high school to college process that builds who your teen is and builds their personal brand, their assets that they need for college acceptance and winning scholarships. Please get my book, get my free gifts. I have a gift for middle school families and another for high school families that are already applied to scholarships. We'll have those links in the description as well. And have a wonderful holiday season.
Yes, thank you. Let me put this in the comments before we end about your 12 books. I mean, your 12, your
Yeah, we've got
special.
12 holiday
Out of-
secrets, and we've got, 12 scholarship secrets. And we also have college acceptance begins in middle school. So there's 2 different opportunities depending on where you are with your children, as well as the book to help you find scholarships for any age.
Yes, so thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And you guys have a great weekend. God bless. Bye bye. What happened? Okay, let me pull you down and